Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is OPTIBOTIMUS coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new DC Collectibles, Mr. Freeze from the new Batman Adventures. Now, this is the one that I was probably least interested in of all the figures. Mostly because, I mean, while he does obviously have a Mr. Freeze look, I think he departs from the actual animated series a little bit more than any of the other characters. And that throws me off. I don't mind having him, and overall I'm pleased that they did him. But this is one that I really would have preferred a animated series representation, just because I always thought Mr. Freeze was kind of cool. But for the packaging, you can see you got the animated or the New Adventures logo kind of thing going on here in the back. You got the 75 years of Batman sticker right there. The open clamshell that shows his weapon, his various accessories. You got Mr. Freeze along the side, and you can see that he's figure number 3 in the wave. And then when you come around here, the back, again, packaging for the back is very, very simple. You just have the silhouettes of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing, as well as some contact information down at the bottom for DC Comics and some warnings. But very simple, but I do like that these are very collector-friendly packages. In fact, that they have the little hanging tag that you can use, which you can't see because it disappears. Look, nothing there. But you can hang that if you really want it. And then on the side of the package, it does have air vents so that the air inside there doesn't stay stagnant and potentially damage the figure. But he does come with a couple accessories that I have no idea what. It looks like he's got little spider legs or something. I never really watched the New Adventures, so I can't honestly even tell you what those are going to be for. I'll probably have to look it up, but for the packaging, that's about it for him. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Mr. Freeze opened up and out of its packaging. And unlike the other figures, he's kind of light on the accessories. I can see where he basically is the same price and everything, because as you can see, he comes with 4 of his spider legs. That's something that happened in the New Adventures. I never saw it, so I have no idea. But because these are much larger, I can see where it makes up that cost difference about giving him a whole bunch of little tiny accessories. He does come with 2 additional pairs of hands. As you can see, he's got fists on him right now, but he's got 2 hands that are like karate chopping action looking, and then he's got a both right and left hand that's designed to probably hold weapons. This one is a little bit more closed. This one has more of a trigger finger kind of thing that looks like it's more designed to actually fit with his gun. The hand is a lot smaller, where you can see the opening is a lot more tiny. And then he does come with this freeze ray, which is really terrific. Now, he also does come with the display stand that all the figures do come with. You got the little plastic pieces right here. You have a little turnaround here with the new Batman Adventures logo, Mr. Freeze. You got a front view, side, as well as a back view. And then you got the little clear stand piece here that just clips right in here. It actually fits a specific way. There's a little notch. So once you get that in, then you can articulate this up, down, move this forward and back. It's kind of weird, especially when you're bringing this all the way in the back. You got this big extra bit right here. It kind of stinks, but whatever. And then you have the little clamps right here that go around his waist. And you really don't need it. I mean, as you can see, he stands well on his own. He doesn't stand well on my table because it's rounded, but you can see if I get it in the center, it stands fairly well. You don't necessarily need the stand here, unlike was the case with Two-Face and Catwoman, because their feet were small. As you can see, his feet are pretty substantial in terms of their size. Now, for him, as I mentioned, he's probably the figure that I was least looking forward to, and part of it is just because, honestly, this version of Mr. Freeze looks a little bit different than what I personally like. The body's not all that different, but the face is something that I don't particularly care for. You can take this piece off and it can expose his head, which I like that you can actually remove his little helmet here. Now, coming in to take a look at it, one thing that, I mean, I really do appreciate the fact that what they did was, instead of giving him the goggles that he's kind of more known for having in the different series, they just basically gave him red eyes, which I think is really cool. I like the fact that they actually got that painted in there. But I really do prefer that goggle look for him. It just, instead of giving him a more menacing look like he has here, it gives him more of that, you know, scientific, scientist kind of look that Victor Freeze was. And I appreciate that a little bit more. You can see he's got a very long, lanky body, but the suit looks pretty good. To be totally honest, my favorite suit is how he looked in the Batman Begins series. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it works. I really do like the fact that you can remove this. And like I said, the head here has a similar look to kind of what we're used to, you know, in terms of a longer, more slender head. And then you got the very pale color that Mr. Freeze had. Now, for his accessories, I'm going to put this on there. This whole section pegs off, and it's kind of weird. And then you just take these little bits right here. These are all on ball joints, and then you just pop these in. It can be a little bit tricky to get them to fit in there. They don't fit in all that well, but you just kind of force them in there. Basically, that's as far as I'm going to go. These other ones, they don't really fit in all that well. This ball section is just too tiny, and I don't want to force it. I mean, these things are very prone to breakage, and I'm not going to force that. But you can basically get the idea. He's going to have little legs like this. I mean, it's something that happened in the new Batman Adventures that I'm not very familiar with, so I couldn't tell you what that's for. I think it's cool, and I like that they included it, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are fans of them would probably appreciate something like that. I just really don't care that much. Now, for his articulation, you can see the head pivots just a little. There's a little bit of a molding in his head. You can get him looking left and up, down, right, side to side, whatever you want to do. The shoulders rotate, but the way that the design for his upper body is, it's like as you rotate it around, then the arm goes outward. So you don't get it looking or moving straight up and down. You can angle them out like that, so you do have that bit of articulation. The elbows move forward and back. They also rotate here. You got wrist joints that move forward and back. They rotate. They're just on these little pins. So let's see here. Well, not put that one in there. I'm going to put this fist back in there. It more or less has little grooves along the actual post. That's what actually holds it in. So I'm going to put his gun hand in there so I can get his gun in there. But you do have that articulation as well. The hips right here, or the waist I should say, rotates. It just feels like it rotates. It doesn't do much of anything else. The hips do move forward, they move back, but that's about the full range of motion that you're going to get with it. They move out on both sides. They move in, obviously. He bends here at the knee, and then the actual boots have cuts right above the boot. So you get a rotation right there, and then the feet move forward and back. They're a bit on ratchet joints, it feels like, so I do appreciate that. He does have the peg holes here on the bottom of his feet, except there's no pins to go in there, so it's kind of weird that they have that on there. But, I mean, like I said, it was my least, the figure that I was least looking forward to, I should say. But I still like him. I think he's a great character that I do hope at some point in time that the folks over at DC Collectibles decides to go back and revisit some of the other ones that they previously did. Like, for example, I would love it if they were redo that Victor Freeze here in terms of his animated look. And then, you know, maybe do something else, such as a Two-Face or whatever the case may be. I mean, I really do like these figures, but I do have more of a soft spot for the animated series one. But I still really do like this figure. It's a nice piece. It's, as I said, just the one that I was probably least excited about, but it is still cool nonetheless. And I'm really excited to hear that DC Collectibles is actually going to work on repairing these figures for future waves. In case you don't know, the recent Toy Fair came out, and they made an actual announcement that they are going to be changing the plastic, especially here in the joints, that clear plastic that is very brittle. They're going to be changing it to something that's a little bit more rigid. So the second wave of these figures is getting delayed some to make those changes, and I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely ecstatic that they're doing that. And they even mentioned that sometime in the future, they'll come back and revisit this first wave and try to replace some of those pieces as well. So if you were not able to get these, or if you had problems constantly getting broken ones and just said, forget it, I'm not getting any more, there is hope that in later releases, they will come out with these again, but with that improved plastic. But I dig him, and I recommend him. Like I said, he's probably my least favorite of the four, but I still really do recommend the guy. So if this is something that you're interested in, comic book stores do have them, or there's always Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Big Bad Toy Store, where this guy's in stock, and you can pick him up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been OPTIBOTIMUS. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/OPTIBOTIMUS. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OPTIBOTIMUSreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own OPTIBOTIMUS t-shirt. And finally, I'd also really appreciate it, guys, that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.